funk season, nigga. Okay. It's funk season, nigga. Look, it's funk season, nigga. You better run for cover, cause I'm gunning for you. I put that on my mother. It's funk season, nigga. You better run for cover, cause I'm gunning for you. I put that on my mother. The funk on Sim City, yeah, Chopper City. Every time you see me, know I got the chopper.
Welcome back Saturday afternoon here for the Karters, Canadian Karters news series.
You mean Sunday, ladies and gentlemen.
Sunday, whatever day it is. Welcome back live to Vidane TV. We're here on a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. It's 12:02. Gonna watch some road course racing here at the Phoenix International Raceway. I'm Paul Strickland Jr. along with me, Rowdy Wesley Hogue.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and we are once again calling the action for the at the Phoenix International Raceway here, the road course of Phoenix International Raceway, and the action we are calling tonight is for the Karters iRacing series, and that's Karters with a K. I believe these guys do some karting, I'm going to say. I believe they are also Canadian-based, just like 85% of iRacing these days, it seems like. So we are here to call some action, have some fun, see some familiar faces, and man, we called a race for these guys yesterday at Laguna Seca, and from heat races to the feature, it was action-packed, and I'm sure we're going to get the same thing tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. These guys put on a fantastic show. And we're just kind of wrapping up qualifying right now. 2 laps of qualifying to see who's going to get into the feature. I believe they take the top 5, maybe the top 10. Or no, I'm sorry. These guys, they qualify in. Basically, the odds go into one heat race. The evens go into another heat race. They run for 10 minutes. However many laps they can get done in that 10 minutes is where they finish. And that's where they're going to essentially line up for the main feature this afternoon, where we're going to have 20 minutes of racing.
Paul, well, how about you let these folks know everything that we got going on today, man? We got an action-packed day here at Vidane TV.
Absolutely we do. We'll take a look right now on your screen, seeing the Vidane TV upcoming events, the calendar, if you will. You're watching the Karters iRacing series right now, and right after this, the Hudson Speedway iRacers. They kick off at 1 o'clock. Later on, a little bit of a break this afternoon, so that's good news. Maybe go outside and get some yard work done. We got the Tim's Corner Motorsports special event. They're going to be running at 6:45. And then tonight, we've got the East Coast Winter League. Those guys run SKs at Stafford every Sunday night. Now, that wraps it up for the weekend, but then we get kicked off into midweek. Wednesday, we kick off the New Smyrna eWorld Series, and that's going to be a 9-week series at New Smyrna with 3 different divisions of racing. And then Thursday night, the New England Pro iRacing Busch North Series at USA International. That's going to be the first race for us for those guys, so really looking forward to that.
We got so much going on here. I don't know if I'm going to have the voice for it. I don't know if you're going to have the energy for it. But I'm excited, Paul. And to you viewers, if you are new to us, hello, welcome to Vidane TV. I hope you like what you see. And if you do, go ahead and you can hit that subscribe button. If you are on the Twitch of Rowdy38 or Strictly94, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're here to entertain the masses and give you your racing fix. You may not be able to get it right now on the real racetrack, but we're here to give it to you on the virtual racetrack. We also love interacting with you guys through live chat. If you're watching, you're signed into your YouTube account, go ahead and shoot us a couple messages there. Feel free to say hello, who you are, where you're from, and who you're cheering for today at the Karters iRacing series here. So getting ready to line up these heat races, Paul, and we're going to get some green flag action. We're going to be looking at 10 laps or 10 minutes, depending how long it takes these guys. And then our feature is going to be 22 laps or 22 minutes. So I'm looking forward to this, Paul. About to get rocking and rolling.
Absolutely, and you see Kenneth O'Keefe with a blistering fast time. He's starting up front. He seems like he's always up front whenever we watch these guys on Saturdays and Sundays, but lining them all up right there on the front stretch. Another standing start, as they do over here in CKN, and you can hear them winding the motors up, waiting for that green flag to fly.
All right, Paul, I'm having a little bit of issue here on my side. I'm going to have to get back in. For some reason, the server did an update for me, so if you can give me a few moments so I can get back up in there, and I will call this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Just giving this, these guys are heading on down into turn one, nice and clean so far. Single file as they're coming around, heading into the first set of S's. I guess you could call that the backstretch if you needed to. Nice clean racing all the way around the track. These guys definitely show they've got the awesome car control. They've got a lot of practice underneath their belt. A lot of road racing these guys do. And like Wes made mention earlier, a lot of them run karts as well, go-karts. And man, I used to do that years ago, but not so much anymore. A lot of fun.
Can you fit in a cart now?
No.
That's why.
Short answer, no. Coming around the last would-be NASCAR turn 3 and 4. Kenneth O'Keefe has a commanding lead so far. 12 car lengths between him and Andrew Waring. Andrew Waring was fast yesterday as well at Laguna Seca, up towards the front for the most of the day. Back down into turn number 1. A little bit of a wiggle there from Kenneth O'Keefe. Lost a little bit of ground. It doesn't even really seem like he lost that ground. Andrew Waring was just able to make it back up, and he heads on down into the, I'm going to call them the backstretch S's. I think that's a cool short nickname for that. I don't know if that's actually what it's called, but that's what it is. Bouncing off of the rumble strips, heading on down into the corner. Great job, just able to really show that he's got the apex down. You can tell he loses just a little bit of time heading into the corners, but he's able to power off each and every single one of these bends, and he's able to put a little bit of distance between himself and Andrew Waring. Back around, winding him up, heading down the NASCAR backstretch into turn number 3 and 4. A little bit, that's where my wheelhouse is. That's where I'm more comfortable, when we just have to do circles. But the road racing is fun. A lot of left hands, a lot of right hands, and it's cool to see these NASCAR tracks with the infield road courses. A lot of different tracks have that, and it's really cool to watch. Crossing the stripe, 3 on the board, 7 to go. About 7.5 minutes of racing, so there's definitely enough time to get all the laps in here for the heat race. Nice and clean as we're going all the way through here. Kenneth O'Keefe currently your leader. Andrew Waring, he's running 10th. He's running second right now in the 10 car. Great to see him up there. And Gavin Sanders actually just moved into the 3rd position.
Paul, I think we are back in action here on my end. I apologize about that. Are we looking at Kenneth O'Keefe currently under fire from Andrew Waring? Is that correct?
That is exactly what we're looking at with Gavin Sanders. I don't know why I'm struggling with that. That's the easiest name in the field this afternoon. Gavin Sanders just moved into the 3rd position.
We saw Andrew Waring do a wonderful job yesterday, and here he goes again, not leaving anything behind. And Kenneth O'Keefe did not get the run that he wanted yesterday. He had a bad heat race. Never let him get it up and rolling in the future like he needed to, but familiar faces up front of Andrew Waring running 2nd, 3rd being Gavin Sanders, 4th being Darrell Thomas, and Rafael Forcier riding in 6th. So for those that aren't familiar with the Skip Barker cars here, these Skip Barker cars are really cool. They're just kind of like miniature Indy cars, basically. They're a little bit of a older chassis, an older ride. They have a lot of history behind them and a lot of fun to drive. They're honestly pretty similar to what a go-kart may be.
Most definitely. We'll take you around the track here on board with Kenneth O'Keefe. And you can see, he's just whipping the back end of that car around. You can hear the tires screaming in the background. So very cool. A lot of high action speed going around the racetrack inside one of these cars.
Paul, we don't get to call much road course racing, so when we get the opportunity to do so with these Karter guys, it's really interesting. It's a lot of fun. I wish we got to call more road racing than we do, but when we do get to call it, it definitely has on the edge of our seats. We're used to super speedways and short tracks. When you're actually having to take a right-hand turn, we kind of tilt our head like a lost puppy. But nonetheless, it's definitely fun to watch. But these guys here, on this track at least, they seem to get pretty spread out pretty quickly. It's more about getting to a rhythm, hitting your marks, and making sure you don't mess up. Where the only battle on the track currently is Andrew Waring in 2nd, still breathing down the neck of the current leader, Kenneth O'Keefe, in that 73 machine.
You're right, and it's one of those things where riding on board right now with Andrew Waring, taking a look at the battle for the lead. These guys are multi-talented because you can take a look at the track map down there in the bottom left of your screen. This racetrack, Phoenix International Raceway, it's got the 3 NASCAR corners almost. You got turn 1, and then it kind of dips into the infield, but then it comes back out for turns 3 and 4. and most of the NASCAR backstretch. So you have to be able to hold a good line. You got to be able to hold it wide open and make sure that you can handle your car. But you also have to make sure you've got that balance so you can get the left-handers, the right-handers, and all the hairpin turns that we've got on this course as well.
You know, when you think of Phoenix Raceway, you think of Phoenix Raceway, the NASCAR version of it most of the time. But this is pretty cool, being able to see them run this infield. It's a little bit
different change of pace here for us at Vidane TV, but we're able to adapt and bring you a live action show here because we are trying to entertain the masses here in these hard times across the country, across the world, really. Everybody seems to be shut down. There's no race cars anywhere, and that's it. That's all we want to hear is race car noises, and we want to hear them right now. Nothing? Not even a giggle?
that was rough.
Halfway through here at Phoenix International Raceway for the first heat race of the afternoon. Running 2 heat races, both 10 minutes apiece, and essentially that's going to line up our field starting order for the feature race this afternoon. Thank you guys so much for joining us here at Vidane TV. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button. It really helps us out. It lets us know who's watching, when you're watching, and it also reminds you every single time we get online and do it live. And if you're in the chat, just say hello. Let us know where you're watching from, and let us know who you're pulling for this afternoon.
So far, this looks really good. I like the way these cars are handling around this track. You can see they're a little loose, but at the same time, these guys have complete control where they're able to just wheel it around not only the left-handers but the right-handers, and they seem really. It seems like they've gotten a lot of practice here. They have a great oh man, I can't get the effing words out today, Paul. They're very familiar with this track.
First try.
It's Sundays. It's a Sunday. These guys are doing a great job. Kenneth O'Keefe, though, showing why he's typically strong here at Karters iRacing Series and leading it out front.
Yeah, a lot of car control from these guys, and it really shows. I mean, a lot of times you'll see somebody get in, I don't need to practice. You can tell these guys practice at least a couple times a week because they've got they race Saturdays and they race Sundays, and it's different cars, different tracks each time they run. So it's definitely cool to follow along and kind of watch. And man, these guys are putting on a clinic. The action is kind of spread out throughout the track because everybody's kind of got their own piece of real estate and they're just holding on to it. So it's working out really, really well. Nice wide-angle shots here at Phoenix International Raceway, kind of showing you just how spread out these drivers are. Closest battle really is up front here. Kenneth O'Keefe up front, trying to hold on to that first spot, doing a great job of it while he's under attack from Andrew Waring, who kind of backed up just a little bit, about a second and a half back.
It looks like Andrew Waring is just going to kind of sit tight where he's at. He's sitting pretty in that second position. He's not going to force the issue. Andrew, as we know, he is a beast at saving tires, though. We've seen him do that time and time again, save his tires and line up a guy for the end of a run, end of a race. But on this here, no time to really do that. You only got 10 laps. 10 laps at 1:05. You're going to get in about, I think, depending on how the server's set up, you should be able to get all 10 laps in. If not, you're going to fall 1 lap short as they're going to come in around to lap 9 here with 10 seconds left on the clock for the service. So they may still get the one to go here. We'll see how iRacing plays it out. But Kenneth O'Keefe, your leader. Andrew Waring, second. Third place, Gavin Sanders. Fourth place, sitting tight, is still quite a bit ways back, is Daryl Timmers. And rounding out your top 5 is Rafael Fortier in the 62.
Yeah, I'm looking like 2 to go as the iRacing clock. We're still trying to figure out exactly how that works with the timed races. I believe as soon as that clock expires, it resets and gives us 2 laps to go, but we'll have to check with the powers that be and find that out.
Ted Murphy on YouTube says Kenneth is like the Lando of this series, and I'm not too familiar with who Lando is, Ted. I'm assuming he's somebody that dominates a lot. Because right now Kenneth is dominating, so I'm going to assume that is a compliment there. Thank you for the comments there, and also be sure to like Vidane TV on Facebook, formerly known as Vidane Racing, of Vidane TV on Facebook. You'll see a lot of our action there, as well as catch some driver profiles, driver interviews, and upcoming events on there as well.
Absolutely, and it looks like we get the 1 to go now. White flag in the air. Kenneth O'Keefe gonna bring them on down. Now, that may very well have been the checkered flag, so it looks like we got a car that pulled off track. Tommy and Scoring likes to struggle, likes to pretend to struggle with these timed races here for us for some reason.
Yeah, these timing racings, we've had certain races where they do one thing. We have races where they do another thing. So they're kind of a struggle.
So it looks like we're on the last lap this time by, because Kenneth O'Keefe is still hard in that loud pedal right behind him. Well, you can see the distance there. About a football field, maybe a football field and a half. Coming around the NASCAR backstretch heading into turn number 3, if we were just racing the oval, I'm not sure how many that is to get there on the road course. No trouble behind him. Kenneth O'Keefe 3.5 seconds over Andrew Waring, just kind of coming on through that last corner. He's going to cross the stripe, take home the first heat race victory this afternoon. Great commanding victory there from Kenneth O'Keefe.
Kenneth O'Keefe putting on a dominating performance here in the first heat race. We'll see if the second one's going to be lined up the same as Kenneth moves on in that first position. Andrew Waring second, finishing third is Gavin Sanders, fourth Daryl Timmers, and then fifth being Rafael Forcier. Greg Smolik will be finishing sixth. Seventh will be Sidhu, not going to even try. Marcelo Panicia will be finishing eighth. Anthony Simone, ninth. Angelo Esposito will be finishing 10th.
Oh, but when I do it, it's not funny.
That is your top 10 here, boys.
Great action here in the first heat race, getting them lined up now for the second, getting everybody qualified into the feature race this afternoon. Take a quick look here at the Verdane TV schedule, the upcoming events. You're looking at them right now. The Karters iRacing Series started these guys off at noon today. Hudson Speedway iRacers, they're going to be coming up right afterwards, racing at Lanier here at 1 o'clock. Tim's Corner Motorsports returns to us with another special event tonight, 6:45, and then at 9 o'clock tonight, the East Coast Winter League SK Modifieds at Stafford Motor Speedway. Going to be a great show there tonight. And then Wednesday's the very first race of the New Smyrna World E-Series. The New Smyrna E-World Series. I'm going to have to correct my graphic. That doesn't really...
Paul, Ted Murphy has cleared up who Lando Norris is. I guess he won the iRacing, the Indy iRacing event yesterday. We apologize, Ted. We called like 11 races yesterday. We didn't get to watch many of the official iRacing events. We were here on Verdane TV, and as well as we had the finale race of Verdane Racing's season as well. So green flag is out. Patrick Woods-Toth, a guy that we've seen dominate over and over again as well. He takes the green flag. Let's see if he can look like Mr. Lando Norris today as well as he heads down into turn 1, which is typically 1 and 2 of NASCAR, but he does so. And Samuel Lupien not having as much luck there. Curtis Fox, we always say his name, and typically not for good reasons here, battling here, trying to get into the top 3. Behind him is Tyler McEwen in that really cool Mountain Dew machine. And then Enrico Minotti goes around. Enrico in the 25 spins out all on his own, opening up the door for Curtis Fox for a change. Curtis is a compliment here of Verdane TV. He does a great job driving it off, and now he sets sail in P3.
Single file up front. You saw a little bit of trouble there about mid-pack. 25 car was able to get that straightened out, but no cautions here in the heat races for the one-car spin, so going to be a tough break for him. I don't believe he's going to have anything for the leaders, so he's going to have to basically just use this as a practice session, kind of a test session, if you will, to make sure that he's got everything that he can this afternoon here for the feature.
Yeah, that's one thing you got to tell yourself is, this is just a... this is just a heat. It all goes around 88 of Tyler McEwen spins out. The Curtis Fox ride, the 15 spins out. Alex Murphy in the 708 spins out. All 3 of these guys spun out all on their own, Paul. All of them went into that corner really hot and just synchronized spun one by one into that corner, losing control. All 3 of them never made contact until they were already spun. Hard damage to the Alex Murphy 708 ride. That was crazy, Paul. See if possibly we can get a replay fired up there for you guys here.
Yeah, we were actually riding on board with Curtis Fox in the 15. Just kind of sent himself around, and as you were doing that, I'm trying to fix the camera, and boom, the Mountain Dew machine, the 88's around. The Mountain Dew got mixed up with the Red Bull, and then I don't know, then he went to Skip Barber School, I guess. Yeah, lazy, kind of a lazy spin. You see another car's trying to get around it, and synchronized spinning here at Phoenix.
Paul Zach Veneer in the 11 just knocked the crap out of Enrico Minotti in the 25. He just lost his front wing. If we can get a nose look at the 11 here, Paul, there was definitely some carnage and a little bit of debris that came off of the bumper of Veneer in that 11. If you can get a look at that red and white machine, definitely not a way you want to start off this heat race. This heat race definitely a little bit more action than the last one that we had, and Corey McLeod as well in the 24 getting loose in that corner where we just saw everybody spin. Man, that might be Calamity Corner today, Paul.
Yeah, definitely saw the front nose of the 11 car wing all bent out of shape. He'll be able to get that fixed before the feature, so that's good news now, but definitely going to affect him here in this heat race.
Man, oh man, 10 laps or 10 minutes. You think these guys are running with 2 to go at nonstop. They're running as hard as they can, but that's typically how it is here in this league. These road course specialists, they know how to get around here. They know how to get around here at 100%. But nonetheless, Patrick Witztoff back up front. We saw him lead majority of a race yesterday at Laguna Seca. He did a wonderful job of leading a race. Did he end up getting that win? I believe he did after Andrew Waring put a bunch of heat on him, but I believe Patrick brought home that win yesterday.
Yeah, most definitely, and we saw him up front all day long, and it was really, really good to see that. And you can see the cream kind of rises to the crop as he's up front. He's got a good commanding lead, about a second and a half, 2.5 seconds, depending on which turn we're going into, lead over Samuel Lupin. Curtis Fox, though, in 15, he's 10 seconds back, so it's a two-man race up front.
Everything's starting to settle down here at the Phoenix Raceway Road Course Edition here for the Karters iRacing League. For those who are just joining us, welcome. If you are new to Vidane TV, hit that subscribe button, as we have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 shows to call today. We have action to call Wednesdays through Sundays right now. Absolutely crazy what we're doing. Vidane TV on Facebook, be sure to give it a like. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you give it a like. It's Strictly94 or Rowdy38. And we are here with the Karters, yes, the Karters with a K, iRacers League. And we are here at the Phoenix International Raceway. We got a 10-lap heat followed up by a 22-lap or 22-minute feature that will be finishing up after this. But up front, Patrick Woods-Toth back to his dominating ways. Samuel Lupian riding in second, not too far back.
Yeah, riding on board right now with Patrick Woods in that 20 machine, our current leader, doing a great job. And you saw him almost drift all the way through turns 1 and 2. Big wiggle from the back end of that car, and then he kind of bounced off the rumble strips in a little bit of a weird way, and it seems like Samuel Lupin was able to close the door just a little bit. You can see he closed up to close to a second back. Take a look right now. It's still about 15-20 car lengths right now, but you can see that 18 of Samuel Lupin has the back bumper of Patrick Woods-Toth in his sights, and he's going to try and reel him in here. He's got about 4 laps to do it, 4.5 minutes left on the clock, so we'll see if we can get him caught up to Patrick Woods-Toth.
Now the action has simmered down. We can kind of get prepared for this feature. We're seeing who's standing out, who's hot, who's not. I think we're going to see a great battle between Kenneth O'Keefe, Patrick Woods-Toth, Andrew Waring, even possibly a Daryl Timmers might put his nose into the battle here coming to the feature. I think it's going to be exciting. We already saw that big long turn 1. Once they're fully up to speed, may be the factor in this event. As now we have a battle for third here. Curtis Fox now under fire in that 15 from the 26 of Sean McPhee. That battle's starting to heat up.
Taking a look at him right now, Sean McPhee trying to get up to the back bumper of Curtis Fox, and he's doing a really good job of trying to, well, as I say that, he goes wide on that turn. I was going to say he's doing a great job staying right in his tire tracks, trying to figure out where the weak spot is, where the weakest link is, so we can get in there and try and take that position. We're showing halfway now on the timing and scoring here. So we're going to have about 5 laps for these guys to duke it out for that third position.
Back up front, your leader just ran a minute 5.567. Second place ran a minute 6.013. So still pulling away up front is Patrick Woods-Toth. So not much going on up front. Samuel Lupian again in second. Your third place machine being
Great battle for that third position. These guys know when this heat race is winding down, and it's going to essentially give you a podium for the heat race, but it'll also give you a better starting spot here in the feature coming up in about 5 minutes or so. So very, very, very good action here going down. They're coming up to that last hairpin turn, and then you're going to be able to see them hold it wide open. We're going to ride on board here with Curtis Fox and just kind of take you around the track as these guys open them up here on the NASCAR's turn 3 and 4 in backstretch.
And for the viewers wondering, why does Sean McPhee keep on blinking in and out? Well, here in iRacing, that sometimes happens. It's a connection issue. He's not having the best connection at the moment, so you might see him blink in and out. And yes, that is frustrating for drivers around him, believe me. When you see a car blinking in and out, and especially when you're really close to them, when they come back, you're afraid of going through their car. It's just really, really frustrating. Some leagues, if you do that too much, they'll give you a warning, and then after that, they give you the boot. But I think they're a little bit more laid back here since it is a series for road courses, and it doesn't really affect too often the drivers around you. But when you're as close as Curtis Fox has been to him, that can become an issue. So we'll keep an eye on that battle here for third place. But coming up next time around, we will see the popsicle sticks out for 2 to go.
Yeah, and we're on board right now with Curtis Fox, and man, you can see he's really getting after it, sawing on the wheel left and right, back and forth, and coming into turns 1 and 2 again, very, very loose all the way around those corners, and was able to hold on to it. You can see he's going to try and outbrake Sean McPhee right now to see if he can get the advantage coming out to the long backstretch, but doesn't quite get there. He's got 3 coming to the line, 2 laps to try and get it done, see if he can get that top 3 finish.
And the battle for third wages on. That is your closest battle on the track here for that third position. And there's a pretty big gap in between third and second. So this is where the battle's at. Everybody else is pretty spread out all the way around the track. So we'll keep an eye on this as Curtis Fox in the 4th position, doing everything he can there with popsicle sticks out to try to get up to the 3rd place of Sean McPhee in that 26 machine, but he's just kind of keeping them in arm's length. And with this blinking back and forth, that's still got to be frustrating because you honestly, as a driver, you just hope he blinks and never comes back because not only for the position, but it's just so annoying when you're just riding behind a guy and he just keeps on blinking and you're just like, man, just fix your stuff or get out of the way. I feel Curtis Fox's frustrations right now.
Yeah, most definitely, and you can see these. It's a close battle here. He's really able to close up, coming out that final that final turn there. But you can see right now on your track map, bottom left of your screen, the green car. That's going to be our leader, Patrick Woods-Toth, or the green dot rather, heading down into turn number 1 and turns number 1 and 2, and then coming up, joining the backstretch right now, the 15. That's the purple dot right there on the track map. So that shows you the distance between first and the 4th place right now belonging to Curtis Fox. So these guys are trying to worry about the 3rd position. They don't really have any pressure from the back, and they're not going to have enough time as we're on the last lap here to get up towards the front. So going to be a good battle. See what these guys can do here for the final lap.
I think they're pretty much set in, Paul. It's going to take McPhee to make a mistake for Fox to have a chance to get up to him lap time wise. He's been a couple tenths faster every lap, so not much he's going to be able to do with him. But it's funny, Patrick Woods-Toth, the laps that he's running super, super consistent laps, which is why he's your leader. He hasn't really fallen off too much since the beginning of the run. So what he's running right now is, I believe he's running faster times right now than what he was in qualifying almost. So where he is. In qualifying, he ran a minute 6 flat. Right now he's running a minute 5 6s. So heck of a run here for Patrick Woods-Toth as he comes around and takes the checkered flag. At least it should have been there, the checkered flag this time, or maybe it's next time around. These are kind of tricky when it comes to these timing events, but Patrick Woods-Toth will be your winner.
Fantastic car control all afternoon long so far. Just showed us for 10 minutes that he is going to be the car to beat Samuel Lupi, and he's going to finish second. 3rd place is going to go Sean McPhee, and those guys battling. Sean McPhee able to hold off, rather, Curtis Fox after he got attacked there for that 3rd position. So, and then Enrico and Menotti, he's going to round out the top 5. So great race here so far. These guys are really taking the time to kind of learn the track and get comfortable with it and get comfortable with everybody else's driving styles. And man, it's going to be a good show here this afternoon.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I think we're going to have some really good, tight racing tonight. For the most part, these guys aren't afraid to bump and bang, though. We have learned that. We've seen that time and time again. I think yesterday we saw quite a bit of bumping and banging, and it's crazy. These guys are super laid back. You didn't hear anybody really flipping out on each other. You didn't hear anybody extremely ticked off. Not like that where I come from.
Isn't that the truth?
All right, Paul, here is your starting lineup for this 22-lap feature. It will be Kenneth O'Keefe in the 73, Patrick Woods-Toth in the 20, Andrew Waring in the 10, the 18 is Samuel Lupien, the 14 of Gavin Sanders, Sean McPhee in the 26, Daryl Timmers in the 6, then Curtis Fox in the 15, as we are green flag racing, shooting down into that turn 1. They're nose to tail, top 3, a little bit of gap back to 4. Samuel Lupien just sitting back watching, able to dive it in hard, wants to be a part of this battle as well, as it looks pretty clean and single file to begin this first lap of 22.
22 laps, 20 minutes on the clock, and we're going to get...
Oh, contact! Patrick Woods-Toth gets wrecked by Andrew Waring. The 3 of Andrew Waring runs over Patrick Woods-Toth. He loses control going into the big right-hander. Still wrecking back there. Man, big, oh, man.
Tires
Angelo
flying,
Esposito
more
loses a
tires
tire.
flying. Holy
They're
moly.
still wrecking, Paul. They are still wrecking. This is like a death match back there. On his roof is McEwen. Tyler McEwen on his roof.
The amount of time, we must have just seen a dozen or two dozen tires pop off there. We're going to see if we can load up an instant replay. And
They're not done wrecking, Paul. Marco Felicio just wrecked. Or Felice, man, they're wrecking all over this track. Get us a replay, damn it.
Yeah, we're going to load it up. We're going to give it to you in real time. And man, oh man, these guys... I'm not even sure what happened to originally set it off. We see somebody hits the inside wall there, it looks like. Oh no, we get turned. Okay, yeah, Patrick's number 20 gets dumped, and you can see we're...
And around goes our leader! Andrew Waring wrecks! Andrew Waring just wrecked! Battling for the lead, just spun out on it. Tim Hooten's flipping now. The Daryl Timmers has been taken out. Spinning is Anthony Simone in the 9. There's wrecks all over this track right now, Paul. Holy crap.
And back up front with your current leader, Kenneth O'Keefe. Holy moly, action all the way around this racetrack. Kenneth O'Keefe up front, Gavin Sanders up behind him, 3 seconds. And then everybody wrecked behind them, it looked like.
It's like the heat races. They're like, all right, we're gonna make sure this is clean. And Anthony Simone in the 9 is wrecked again in the back. And there goes Curtis Fox wrecking, coming out of the hard left-hander to get back on the NASCAR turn 3 and 4. It's like in the heats, they said, all right, we're going to take our time, and then once we get to the feature, we're going to tear our stuff up. Let's make sure we do that. And this is who's in the pits right now. Greg Smolik with 3 tires. Tim Hooten has 3 tires. Sidhu is under service. Rafael Forcer doesn't look good. Sean McPhee all beat up. Patrick Woods-Toth, he's done. And now exiting pit road is Minotti. He's just exiting pit road. That's some big names in there, and then we have other big names at wreck that's still running, but it might as well be out of this now. This is big. The fact that Patrick Woods-Toth dominated yesterday, he dominated today's heat, and now he will not win tonight's race.
You can see Curtis Fox is around again, coming out of pit road, down in down in turns 1 and 2. Not even sure if maybe there's something on the racetrack, because you can see right now Curtis Fox is still on.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of Skip Barber cars on the racetrack that didn't. Oh, they're wrecking behind him. The 10 of Waring gets just driven through. Gets driven through by Zach Schreier. They had a little bit of contact yesterday, if you remember yesterday morning. Maybe that was a little bit of payback. Or these guys just can't drive these cars. Either way, what a calamity. What's that game on PlayStation right now that everybody's playing? My God, that wrecking game, Wreckfest. This is just another version of Wreckfest. My Lord.
And there's still 17 laps to go here at Phoenix International Raceway.
I'm going to say 4 cars go through 17 laps. And we apologize if we're not able to get coverage of every action that's happening on this track because it's everywhere. None of these guys keep it straight. If it's 3 or more get together, there's calamity. Paul, keep your eye on right now Zachary Veneer in the 11. He's sitting 4th. Marcial Panicia is 5th. And then Logan Paca is sitting 6th. Behind him is Angelo Esposito is in 7th. That is your closest battle. Everybody else is pretty strung out if we want to keep an eye on that battle here. Man, I might have to get up and get a drink after that. My God, that 11 is Zachary Veneer now. He sees this happening in his mirror, and he's like, man, just stay away from me. I've had enough action for today. But here comes Logan. Logan looking low now. He wants that 5th position as he shoots low, and Marciello just pulls over and says, take it. And Logan just fires it down in there. Great run through this.
Oh, right behind him, spinning out. It looks like the 17.
And there's Angelo Esposito. I guess he wanted another burrito. And he has just self-spun on his own again. Man, I would love to call these races at least once an hour. This is crazy, Paul.
A lot of action all the way around the track. A little bit different show than what we were watching in the heat races. Heat races, everybody cool, calm, collected. Not so much here in the feature. A lot of calamity, a lot of damaged cars.
And to say that last name, it's actually Paxa. Logan Paxa. Thank you, David Paxa, for clearing that up for us. Again, we're just dumb Southern American rednecks that can't say anything that other than Jones, Smith, and Johnson. So that is Earnhardt. Thank you very much on that, but it's Paxa. So as Logan Paxa now putting Zachary Veneer under fire. Probably the 2 of the cleanest cars other than our top 2 on this track, and both of them have been incidents as well, as now Veneer again under fire. He opens up the bottom lane. Paxa just dives it down in there. We've seen him drive it hard into this corner every lap, and having trouble getting it to stick this time is Logan, but nonetheless, he's able to take that position, moves himself into that 4th spot.
Doing a great job holding on to it. That's where a lot of our action's been, is turns 1 and 2. Guys just trying to get in there too hot and just looping the cars right around. So did a great job. He showed he had a little bit of a...
Oh, and then Veneer takes him out! No, he takes himself out! Oh, he flips a car! Marcelo Panicia tries to go around him, and they make just slight contact, and he flips him. Back on 4 wheels, and here we go again. Man, oh man, there's debris in that corner and everything, boys. Oh, boys. This is nuts.
Bits and pieces flying off of that car, tires, fenders. Flips over, lands it, sticks the landing, back underway, gets right back onto the gas pedal. But man, crazy action all the way around. It seems like, as we can see, the 19, as damaged as he is, he's got those 3 cars behind him, going to be trying to battle him out for the track position. I don't believe they're on the same lap.
Now the battle's for 6th as Panicia just having to pull over or let Corey McLeod go by, the 17 go by, as well as Minotti go by in 25. Now we got a battle for that position going down into the corner. For the 7th position, the 24 of Corey McLeod, he's under pressure now. He's having to drive it in hard to make sure he doesn't get spun out. This is literally Wreckfest iRacing version. This is last man standing death match in these not safe Skip Parker cars. But they will take a beating nonetheless, we're learning today.
Yeah, it's a good thing it's an iRacing simulator because it's very expensive.
Oh, and he wrecks him! Minotti just gets turned by Felice. He just drives it in and wrecks him. Wow, if there's not a fight in the pits after this, I'm rioting. Because these guys cannot drive around each other. This is almost embarrassing.
Yeah, you can see the red and white car just gets in there too hot and sends the 25 pack and just gets right in the back bumper, sends him, lets him know he's there and he's leaving and he's going right on around him.
And Enrico, just letting you know, it's 4th and 10. You know what you do on 4th and 10, Paul? What do?
You punt it?
You punt. And the 25 just wrecked himself again. He's up in a plume of smoke, Paul. That might be it for Minotti. He is still sitting there in the 25. Car not moving, just a plume of smoke. Now he gets it rolling. Can't tell if the car's smoking or if he's just burning some rubber. Possibly just sitting there spinning the tires. Definitely some motor damage on that ride. Possibly brain damage on the driver. He's taking so many damn hits. There's got to be at least 2 concussions and some kind of CTE put into that helmet of his. But nonetheless, up front, it's Kenneth O'Keefe has seen 0 action since lap 1 of the heat. And he's up here just leading the show and doing what he has to do. But we're going to see Enrico Minotti in the 25 head down pit road. Unfortunately, his day is over. And just some notable names that are no longer in this race that said, I'm done, I'm out of here. Alex Murphy, Rafael Forcier, Sean McPhee, Patrick Woods-Toth, that's a big one. Enrico Minotti is probably going to be done. Tyler McEwen, Callum Baxter, Tim Hooton, Daryl Timmerds, Greg Smolik, and Sinhu, and Marcial Panicia. I think Panicia is still in the race, though. Those are all the drivers that it looks like they're done for the day, and they have packed it up. Callum Baxter is still on the track, multiple laps down. Tyler McEwen still on the track, multiple laps down. Tim Hooton is on the track, multiple laps down. Same thing with Greg Smolik and Daryl Timmers. But these guys, they're done. They're done. Same thing with Sindhu. We know for sure out of the race, Patrick Woods-Toth, he has disconnected. He said, this is it. I'm done. I'm sure he's pretty ticked off. But, Paul, we got a battle with the 17 of Marco Felice. I can't tell you what position it is because you guys jumped about 10 positions every lap because someone's wrecking. He's under fire from Andrew Waring. Andrew Waring looks on the right side of him. A lot of room given here. It looks like quite a bit of respect here given between these guys. And Waring takes that position possibly here. Battling back on the left side is Marco. Can Marco make it stick? He cannot. It looks like he may let this one go to Andrew Waring. Next in Andrew Waring's eyesight is going to be Angelo Esposito.
Yep, that was a battle for 7th, and you see it's pretty much a strung-out battle for 6th. They're trying to chase down Corey McLeod and Marco Felice in the 17 machine, trying to catch up to him and see if he can get around him here. Not even halfway to go yet. It looks like, we still have 13 cars on the lead lap, but man, Kenneth O'Keefe putting on a clinic here, surviving, really. He's got a 10-second lead over second place Gavin Sanders, and then it just goes on back from there.
And coming up, ladies and gentlemen, and Esposito has pulled it down pit road. That might be it for him. Coming up, ladies and gentlemen, after this, we do have an event coming up literally right after this. We will be calling the Hudson iRacing League from the guys from Hudson Speedway. They'll be racing at Lanier, sorry. So that's going to be a fun one. That's going to be coming at 1 p.m. Eastern. So don't you go anywhere. And if you are a new viewer, hit that subscribe button because as you see, we watch some really cool racing and we get to call some really cool racing here. And we like to get involved. We like to chat with you guys. As we got a viewer on YouTube saying, let's see here. Frank Minotti says, good thing no injuries with iRacing. Yes, he's correct.
Proof.
And Phillies, I think that's how you say that last name. Man, shout out to David Packa. He's helping out with these last names. Yeah, it's Marco Phillies. That's how you're going to say the last name of the 17 machine. So we're taking notes of this. So thank you so much, Mr. David.
We'll get it right one of these days. I promise you that.
All right. So if you're Kenneth O'Keefe, how many cigarettes have you smoked? How many cans of Mountain Dew, and how long have you been in just autopilot? Because Gavin Sanders has worked his way to second place from Samuel Lupien. Gavin's a typical name that we see up here up front in the Karters iRacing League. But there's been no kind of drama right now for Kenneth O'Keefe since the drop the green flag in the heat race.
No, really, the only challenge that Kenneth O'Keefe has had has been lap cars, and it seems like everybody's kind of pulling over and making room, easy enough for me to say, for the leader to get around cleanly. So it's always good to see that. Very commendable by this group of drivers. But has a 10-11 second lead over Gavin Sanders in that second position. So you got to figure, as long as he doesn't get caught up in a wreck from a lap car, and as long as he can hold on to that car all the way throughout as we're crossing through halfway now, we'll be able to see Kenneth O'Keefe take the victory here this afternoon.
And for the Tyler McEwen fans that just tuned in and might have seen him right behind the leader, Kenneth O'Keefe, that's excited. I think McEwen's done 4 or 5 cartwheels during this race, and he's actually multiple laps down in position 19. So unfortunately, he is not in that second position. Gavin Sanders is, who is about 6 seconds back. So it's going to take a miracle to take out Kenneth O'Keefe out of contention on this, but never say never. We've seen a lot of calamity this race. I wouldn't put it past a lap car doing something stupid in front of our leader.
Yeah, just taking a look at it right now, the track map on the bottom of your screen, you saw it. It was a full straightaway between first and second place. So second place, Gavin Sanders. He's going to do his best to try and make up some time, but I don't think with 10 laps to go, he's going to have enough to close in on Kenneth O'Keefe.
The bright side for these guys, and by the way, it is Minotti, is what I'm being told by Ted Murphy. It's a Menotti. So we're getting better at these last names. You guys are the MVPs, helping us dumb rednecks say probably simple last names. But we got help with Enrico's last name as he sits on pit road. But probably good for these guys is they are completely single file for the most part. At least a second or so in between almost every car, which is a positive right now. After everything these drivers are gone through, I'm sure they're just watching these laps tick down. Can't wait to get out of that cockpit and get a cold one. Put this one behind them.
Yeah, for sure, Wes. You can see everybody's pretty much single file as we're trying to just go through and look and see how everybody's doing as we're going through the field. Taking a look at 8th place right now, Marco Felice started 21st, so was able to make his way up through most of the carnage. I'm sure he had a little piece of it, because I think everybody but Kenneth O'Keefe got a little bit of piece of some sort of wreck or another, so doing a great job there in 8th place. We'll take a look here at the 24. McLeod, he's actually under fire right now still from Andrew Waring right behind him. And those guys are side by side coming out in the final turn, heading on down to the start-finish line. And that'll be 8 to go once they cross the stripe.
8 long laps to go. And when you are the leader, Kenneth O'Keefe, you might hear what's going on, but you can't see it. And you're wondering, how bad is it really out back there? And we actually just had a pass. Andrew Waring just worked his way around Corey McLeod for the looks like the 6th position. So the 10 of Andrew Waring taking over the 6th position from McLeod, and he's going to drive off. And Andrew Waring, again, he was definitely involved in enough drama this race to want this thing over and done with, and he's just picking them up one at a time. And I believe these guys race for points here, Paul, so every position counts.
Yeah, absolutely. Every position is more points on the board and less points for your opponent.
Paul, did you snort?
I might have.
Like a pig?
I might have.
Are you eating?
I am not eating, no.
Are you in like a pool of mud?
No, just a little bit congested, that's all.
That pudding? I'll take a pool of pudding.
That does sound pretty good right now.
It really does. Just dive in. Anyways, up front, Kenneth O'Keefe, that is you're a leader, and we could almost put it in the bag unless something stupid happens. Second place is new second place sitter. Gavin Sanders has lost it. Samuel Lupien has gained it in the 18 car. Samuel Lupien, they got around Gavin Sanders cleanly. Yes, a clean pass in this race. And he did a wonderful job doing so. And that is the battle for second. But just cycling through the field here for you, Paul. Possibly we could say a battle for Anthony Simone in the 9 and Brody Clark in the 7. Possibly a battle for 9th here soon. Not exactly sure. That's probably the closest thing we have to a battle, though, on this track right now, other than these guys just battling with themselves mentally on, got to finish this race.
It's one of those things, a lot of action early on, a lot of wrecking, and a lot of tore-up race cars. You can see, take a look down pit road. There's still, actually, it looks like everybody's off pit road looking at the camera angle that we've got. But a lot of those guys wrapped up early. There's multiple cars that are a lap down, looking like probably 6 cars a lap down, and then another 4 or 5 cars that are 2 laps down, getting caught up in those early wrecks. And man, it was like the first 5 laps we ran an endurance race, and then now we're going to start racing with maybe half the field. So tough break for a lot of the guys that got caught up in that, and seeing really the attrition kind of work in Kenneth O'Keefe's favor, holding on to that lead for so long. He's got a 16-second lead, 16.5-second lead over second place Samuel Lupin.
And Frank Minotti on YouTube says, you guys are the best. Really enjoy you commentating. Good job. Thank you, Frank. We appreciate that. We like to be ourselves. We try not to be too politically correct. We like to be unique and just be ourselves, but at the same time, call the action to the best of our ability. So we thank you very much. And Paul, the battle up front is starting to heat back up for second, not first. Don't get your hopes up. He's gone into another universe. For second, Gavin Sanders isn't allowing Samuel Lupien to just drive away in that 18 machine. He's staying right there at an arm's length. So if Samuel slips up at all, Gavin's going to be there to get that position back.
Yeah, and you can see he's right in his tire tracks, bouncing off the rumble strips on the inside, the infield racetrack right now, and he's trying to work and see where he's stronger, where he's weaker, where he can get around and pass him, because you can't just dip it on down low and hope it sticks. You want to be able to, with the lefts and the rights, inside one corner is going to be outside on the other, and vice versa. So you really need to study and find out where you're stronger and where you can really make that pass work. And he's trying to figure that out right now. Has a little bit of time to get around him. Got 5 laps to go, 3.5 minutes, whichever comes first. So plenty of time for Gavin Sanders to kind of plot his move and see if he can get around the 18.
Gavin Sanders doing a wonderful job of keeping himself in contention here for the second position. And with just a couple laps to go here, Paul, you basically just kind of set it up. You hope that possibly something happens where it just opens up the door for you. You have no chance at the leader. Leader's almost a half track ahead of you. You really need him to have some issues. He was able to get through about 4, 5, 6 lap cars without an issue. So Kenneth O'Keefe just putting on a clinic here at Phoenix International Raceway and the road course version in these Skip Barker cars. And again, if you're a new viewer, hit that subscribe button. We love putting on these shows. Go like Vidane TV on Facebook, formerly known as Vidane Racing. Like our Twitch channels, Strictly 94 and Rowdy 38. You're going to see a lot of this on there as well. And Facebook is going to be the place where you're going to see a lot of driver spotlight interviews for the leagues that sign up for our premium package. And if you are a league that's possibly looking to get your league televised, let us know. We'll give you our package pricing, and we'll get you here on Vidane TV as well. So be on the lookout. Always try to call some of the best leagues, the best racings here on Facebook, and I feel like we do, or on iRacing, I feel like we do on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and other outlets. But back to that battle here. Looks like the second place battle is really going to start to get interesting because now Lupien has 2 lap cars he has to figure out how to get around. One of them he's able to do so easily. The other one of Esposito might be a little bit harder. We shall see it. Oh, Zach Sharir wrecks Gavin Sanders for second. Zach Sharir and Gavin Sanders wreck for second in that 14 ride of Gavin Sanders. He gets taken out by Sharir. Again, is that rolling over from yesterday when Gavin got into Zach?
Yeah, we're going to take a look here at the instant replay, and you saw it happen live in the background there, but man, oh man, you see smoke just pouring out of that 23 machine. There we go. Look at
Paul's going to get us the replay here. That was crazy. The only battle we had on the track, and dadgummit, a lap car had to take it out for us, but man, let me know if you think that that possibly intentional or what, because these two don't have the best pass.
Oh, that was 100% intentional. You saw he just kind of drove and held the steering wheel straight, heading on into the turn. You see Kenneth O'Keefe actually bumps the inside wall and turns in one of those turns he's in right now. Hopefully he's not getting too complacent. Yeah, he's got a 13-second lead and then another 8 seconds on back to Gavin Sanders after he collected himself back up. But
he's bored, Paul.
Maybe he's just trying to keep it interesting. Maybe he can finish this race with 3 wheels.
He's bored, Paul. He's like, man, everybody else is getting to hit stuff. I want to hit stuff too.
Yeah, leave the pace car. I want to hit that one.
And again, 1 p.m. Eastern, we have another event coming up. The Hudson Speedway Racers will be at Lanier, that short track in the street stocks. And up in the booth with us should be Kyle Young. Kyle Young, he's a race announcer up in the Northeast area of the country in New York State. He should be in the booth with us as well. So still a lot of action. Still got 3 more events come to you on this beautiful Sunday.
Absolutely. Hudson iRacing Group coming up right here momentarily. 2 laps to go. We're going to reset the stream and get those guys going.
Battle for second here, Paul. I lied. Esposito's many laps down. Proceed.
Big wiggle there from Esposito as he was heading down into turns number 1 and 2. You got to wonder, he's got some damage, some downforce missing on that race car. But we're going to take a look at the leader here, see where Kenneth O'Keefe is at. Heading on down to the NASCAR backstretch. He's going to be going through turns 3 and 4, crossing the line with 1 to go here. Man, that's he can almost park and walk for the last lap and still come home with the victory.
I just broke a sweat thinking about walking around this track.
Especially in Phoenix, Arizona. Are you kidding
My
me?
God, that's a horrible idea, Paul.
185 degrees year-round. I don't think it's that hot, but...
It might as well be. So, looks like there might start to be a battle for that 9th position, Paul. Anthony Simone in the 9 ride. He's running quite a bit slower than Curtis Fox, and we're saying that name again, Curtis Fox in the 15. In P10. Don't look too far behind you. The next car behind Curtis Fox is the 1. I'm sorry, the 73 in that first position. Kenneth O'Keefe just messing around. Wait, is it over? Oh, it's over. Kenneth O'Keefe wins.
Yeah, we really need to work on the timing and scoring for these timed races. We apologize for that. Yeah, Kenneth O'Keefe comes home with a victory. Samuel Lupin finishes second. Third goes to Gavin Sanders after getting some damage there. Logan Paxa, he finishes fourth, rounding out the top five. Zachary Veneer.
All right, Paul, it's time to pack it on up. We got another event to call in 3 minutes. I'm out.
That's exactly it. We're going to get everything dusted off here. Congratulations to Kenneth Keith winning here at Phoenix International Raceway. We're going to get everything packed up, get it all set up here at Lanier Speedway. We're going to be racing with the Hudson iRacing group here in literally 5 minutes. So definitely come on and check us out. And again, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you momentarily.